let's get this stream started. Wow. Let's start. All right, hello everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the charting session, the last one of the year. Thank you all for rocking with me through this year. Hope all my price levels helped you out at some point. Make some money throughout the year in the stock market. Remember, discipline and consistency is key. That's my theme going into 2016, consistency. Whatever you pick up, be consistent with it. Whether that's going investing, going to the gym, whether that is prayer meditation, going out more, being more social, whatever those goals are, build a business, be consistent at it. Even if it's a little bit a day. Consistency don't mean you got to get a lot done every day. It just means showing up. And as you keep showing up, results will begin to show because you will execute the more you start to show up and you will start to learn more. So it's the theme of 2026 is consistency. We got to be consistent this year. When we pick a price level or a strategy, let's be consistent in our strategy. Let's be consistent in sticking with the levels. Even if we see other opportunities out there that may make more money, be consistent with the strategy. This year is not about maxing out. We don't want to look to try to max out every trade. Max out. It's about consistency. Find your rhythm. Let's find our rhythm in the market and be consistent with it. All right. Let's get to the charts because that's what we're here for, right? The charting session. But I want to go through some of my levels that hit last week. Let's see how many of our price levels actually executed from last week. Could do a split screen situation. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, let me get the split screen situation going here. We can rock that. Half the screen, the chart is not the split screen I was looking for. Here we go. Found it. Pull this over here. Good morning, Tim. What's going on, man? You're right on time. I'm in the live. I just got the live started. We about to get the charting session started. I was about to go over the highlights of last week, see what stocks hit off the price list last week. You know, we got a short week this week. This is going to be my last charting session of the year before the annual review. Why are we doing this?
Yo, XPX took off this morning at open.
The market just opened, bro. Like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. The
You
level
gonna?
I had entry at 836, 68, 36, 7. That thing opened at 68, 65.
Bruh.
It looks very interesting this morning.
It is a short holiday week. I am not doing anything crazy this week. I am chilling. I'm really going to be setting levels. This is going to be more so looking for further out strikes to enter in to swing into the new year. Because like I said, we're going to come in on some holiday weeks. We got Christmas and then New Year's. So I'm not going to be too confident in the volume and the trading activity going on in these next 2 weeks. Whatever the market's showing is probably going to be some flash illusion. So I'm going to wait and look for those targets that we set today for them to be more into next year. Things that I could look for some March and April contracts on, honestly. But let's look last week. Put target hit on Apple. Y'all see. Put entry triggered right here on Monday. On Apple, you could have entered right here on that dip below. Oh shit, what just happened? You could have entered right here on that dip below this first entry. at 273. That was the entry. You see it floated around. Put entry for, let me see, what was that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday gave you opportunity. Thursday it touched target down here. Why is it doing that? Yeah, Thursday it touched the target down here, right at 270.78, which was the first target on puts. 270.75. So you're gonna highlight that over here. That light green. Okay. 270.75. So we hit on that target last week. First put. I think that's the only one that you probably would have really had a chance to hit on last week with Apple having that pullback from Monday, and then it just stayed down there. And you see today it's testing that 273.50 level again, right back at the put entry level that we had. So let's see how that goes this week. I might keep that as like a resistance level. Like if we start breaking above there and up to 275, use 275 as call entry. He was talking about Tesla. We had Tesla on the list last week. Let's look and see what Tesla did. Tesla, I know Tesla. Tesla at 494 today. We said Tesla was going to 500 when it was at 460. We kept saying it. You know, we already knew. So last week we had Tesla call entry 471. Let me see. Yeah, last week. You see Tesla 471. It triggered that last week on Monday. Gave us opportunity to get in Tuesday. Even came back on Wednesday after hitting first target on Tuesday. So you could have gotten, you could have swung Tesla from call to first target on Monday when it triggered. Got out Tuesday. Got back in Wednesday when it came back down to 471. And got back out Thursday when it hit 48. And that would have been probably your last time touching it because it stayed up there. It didn't really come back down the call entry. You would have been getting greedy if you would try to play it again. But 488 confirmation, now that's support. So now we're looking for 488 to support us up to 500. And that will be the range I will play for Tesla this week. But last week, both the targets hit. 479 was the first call target that I put on the chart last week. We hit that. No problem. Put that a little darker. Second target, 488, was hit as well. No problem.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, my brother?
Chilling.
Talking about, we're going through the levels from last week, seeing what hit. We're trying to see what we smacked on last week. Well, you could have hit on last week if you didn't take it. What's up?
Between those Teslas that we talked about.
Oh yeah, them Teslas going crazy right now.
I know, man. I know.
Hey, you swung a Tesla? Let's go.
Yeah, I got the 510s.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's
510s up 100% right now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep. Watch for that 490. I didn't get any more Tesla.
By the end of the day tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't swing Tesla through the weekend. I
I
didn't
should have swung
swing.
fucking Meta too. I was scared with Meta.
It's a short holiday week, man. You gotta be careful. I don't think there's gonna be that much volume in the market this week, so things are gonna be swinging all over the place.
XPXN.
Let me see. Let's go. Let's see if we hit last week's level. Hold on. You gonna stare at it?
Gold hit last week.
This is Okra.
I know Microsoft hit last week.
Let's go through gold. Let's go through gold level. Let's go to gold.
Gold look pretty nice this morning.
Gold gapped up to 406. Gold is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
crazy pop up. Did you swing gold?
No, I let it go for last
So gold call entry last week was 398 with target at 400. We hit that a few times last week. So we're gonna highlight that. That gold target hit. Did we ever hit 402 last week? Yeah, we did hit the second target, 402.20. We hit that. Yes, sir. Gold hit both targets. How about on the put side? No, we never got down to. We touched put entry, but it bounced off of it. So gold didn't touch put levels last week. Let's check out the IWM. Let's see what it's hitting for from last week. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Last week we dropped down below put entry of IWM, which was 252.74. On Monday it dropped below that, so you should have been in puts from Monday, break below, and then close below there. So that's a confirmation. And we touched first put target at 251.12. That played out nice. We even came down to the second put target here at 248.78. Sheesh, that was another smacker.
That's what I hate about this shit, bro. That shit never feel me.
I got you.
What the?
Hold on 1 second. We hit both targets on IWM last week. That was.
IWM just came back for me at 252.
Both put targets. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the meta chart next. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
I saw 43.
483. I thought Microsoft touched. I thought Microsoft was at 488 this morning. What the hell?
Bro, my shit has been off for 43.
That's sickening.
Yo, Tim,
Oh,
did you
Tranquilo.
swing your spy calls from last week?
I was at put, sir. But luckily I did not swing it. No, I didn't. I took my L. I would have been punching the air this morning, boy.
Shit, you better swing some puts right now.
I ain't gonna lie.
You better get some puts right now.
I was already looking, but you know how I feel. I ain't getting no calls up here.
Alright, because the way Google tank and Microsoft tank and Apple down, shit, you know SPY gonna go down.
I know, man. I know.
Yo,
Wait, next.
CXPX open at 67 is tanking right now.
Nah, that shit gapped up.
Yeah.
That shit gapped up at what, 68? That shit touched what, 68, 73 high? Alright, I'm about to jump in that puts right now, boy.
Got a goal. I just don't want gold to start.
I think gold gonna tank too, because that shit, I think it opened up too. Let me look at their chart. Cause they was what, 4,650? 4,658 right now?
I'm about to get shorted, boy.
Let's see.
Yeah, this a new all-time high for them.
Yeah. Yeah, they could get a little quick short, cause they gapped up too. They got a little gap to fill.
So I'm about to get
Right back down to 400. Right back down to 400.
I like the $400 puts for 12/31, the end of the month. It's 213 right now. Yeah, I
Get that today.
I know. I think we could come down to like 404.
That shit started.
470.
If this 30 start rejecting right here, you finna go down. Well, we're gonna fill that gap and see what happens. We got 16 more minutes.
Meta just hit first price target.
That a beast, kid.
Yeah.
Can't fucking catch that nigga to save my life. Look at this fucking candle, dog.
You just gotta be in, boy. You ain't no time in that shit.
You for real, bro? Kid, that 661, you know what I'm saying, level, that shit, you respect that shit like a motherfucker.
I'm back. All right, let's go through these.
You see how that shit bounce off that candle, kid? And that shit's still going.
Who y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Meta.
Meta.
First price target.
Meta. Yep. 660.
Candle in this 30, bro.
660 was the call entry. Meta's up at 672. The first target on Meta is 677. It still ain't even hit the first target. Meta still ain't even hit the first target yet. So let's see. That would have been a nice play to catch this morning. Yeah. It did that last week though. It did that on Thursday and Friday. It put a candle like this in, but then it rejected. So we gotta see how this candle hold. If you look at it on the daily. So let's see if we could hold. Last week it went from 656 all the way up to 671 in a day. So today not even the biggest push compared to last week. It's been catching momentum. That's why I like it. I feel like it's getting ready to pop back up because it had such a pullback. It's got so depressed after earnings. I think it got oversold. People overdid it. But 660 was that level. Yep, both target.
I'm worried about that gap it has to fill. You feel me?
Back to the upside, right? We're gonna get that. We're gonna catch that.
Yeah. You could feel that nigga could gap up any day now to back to 740.
Yeah. Let's see how we look.
Gap up.
At
I just don't want to miss the gap.
last week on Meta. Last week, I think the only thing you could have got, Meta didn't give you anything last week, so we didn't hit no call target or put target on Meta last week. It just chopped around between call and put entry levels. It hit call entry, but it never hit the first target. It came back down, and it triggered put, but it never hit the first target. So Meta was chopping last week.
Because it's basically broken out the tops of the past couple days, basically right now.
Right, that's what it's doing right now. That's what it's, yeah, exactly.
It's breaking out.
We gotta see if it don't reject like Microsoft doing though.
Right.
Yeah.
The next level up here is what, 674. Then that's 677.
Microsoft last week, I believe, did us the same. It chopped us around. It didn't really do anything. I remember Microsoft choppy last week. Yeah, Microsoft. For Monday last week, you see it chopped. It came down to put entry, played around, went right back up. And then came to call entry. Call entry actually triggered on Thursday. You could have had call entry and hit first target on Thursday. I'm lying. Microsoft did give us first target last week.
Yeah,
on Thursday. Yeah, at the end of the week. We waited at the end of the week, yeah, and then it rejected. Crazy.
Hey, there on what?
I remember that.
Mm-hmm. That was a high wick on that candlestick. It came right back down. So that would have been a tough one to catch. You could have caught that, but that would have been a tough one to catch. You would have had to been like really, really on point scalping that. Let me look at. Let's go to Avgo, AVGO. Let's look at Avgo.
So lose that fucking mind. 497, $3 more. I got a 490 put already queued up.
Ready for that rejection of a 500, huh?
Ooh, keep going.
Let's see. Avgo last week came down to our put entry on Monday. It came straight down on Monday. All right. And then once it triggered put entry, it did give us the first target at 335.89 after we triggered right here at 339.
Might have a repeat, boy.
Maybe it'll run it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then it touched second put target at 332. Yeah, I remember running on Avgo last week. That was a nice play. It came all the way down to 328. It came all the way down to second target, below second target. That extended and then came back up. So we may be able to run that back. Yeah. Because they still haven't gotten above call entry from last week at 347.80. Might be able to run those Avgo puts back. But momentum is starting to try to come in on the daily. We'll do deeper analysis on them when we go into the private session. I'll do some more analysis on where their potential momentum's looking like right now.
You're right back down to 331. 330. I said Avgo could get back down to that
Yeah, it could. It really could. Let me see. We did Meta, did Microsoft. It's Nvidia. Let's look at Nvidia.
All in one move, bro.
Tesla need $2.
You about to do that shit all in one move.
Calls about to be up. What you up over there in your calls? 200%? 190%? What you up over there, man?
What are you waiting for?
Take your
I
profit.
know you waiting for 500, boy. Get up out of there.
500. Man, listen, there's a note on that shit for 510, man. That shit's supposed to hit 510.
I can still up, man.
If it's hitting 510, I need to see that 500.
Oh yeah, nah. I see. I'll be waiting for 500 if I was you too. How many contracts you got? One?
I got 3.
Yeah, you got. I would shed 2, bro. I would shed at least 1. You don't gotta wait for all 3 to hit 500. Start taking some profit off the table, lower that risk, and then by 500, you'll be good. Now you can really let the runner run. Your risk is almost, you have almost no risk. And once you could take a trade, once you could take a trade down and make it a no risk trade, those are the best trades to be in. Once you take profit and it becomes no risk, when you have all your risk still on the table, you don't want that. That's when it's like, okay, I gotta keep watching this like a hawk if it pulls back. But now you got all this profit locked in, you can lock in that profit, and whatever contract you have left, even if that contract goes to 0, you're still gonna be in profit. So it's no risk.
Wow. Yeah, my poker face there.
We in a short squeeze, boy.
Let's go. 4 numbers.
Let's see. Nvidia last week. What did Nvidia give us last week? We had 170 as call entry on Nvidia. Nvidia stayed below call entry all week. It triggered put entry on Wednesday, hit target, and actually touched second target down there at around 170, 169.96. So yeah, 169.95. It touched all the way right down there and bounced right off that level perfectly. See why levels are important? Look at that. The double bottom right off of that put target that we set. And this is why setting your levels every week is important. Don't rush to jump into trades because it's Monday and you see a move here, see a move there. Set your levels. Set your levels for the week, or set your levels the week and before. Only thing I don't like about doing that, from my own discovery, is that you get gap ups on Monday morning, and sometimes the gap is up above your level that you set from the week before. So I like to see how Monday's open, or at least Monday pre-market, and then start setting the levels for the week. Because now you got an idea of what everything is looking to do, or how they're looking to start the week. So if you have a gap up, you could include that in your leveling. But Nvidia gave us put targets last week. Let me put that on here. We got both of those. Cigna, this is when I slept on last week. Cigna, I know Cigna was triggering puts last week. I had slept on that. They triggered. They were floating around the beginning of last week, and then they came down below put entry at 275. But we never hit the first target, so that was choppy play last week. That didn't go anywhere. Let's go to the ETFs now. Let's look what the QQQ is doing. What's QQQ doing right now? And it fell 2 up. I like QQQ off of 619.20. That's a call entry level I had for them last week. That's the last week's call entry level. We never broke above that. We started the week and shot down below it. Yeah, we started last week Monday. We were below it and never got above it. Last week was a put week because the Qs played out. Both puts levels played out. 607, 37 hit. That was beautiful. I caught that one. And then I did not catch the 599 though. That we did not get to. We got to 628, pretty much 5. It almost hit the second target. But this week we're popping back above call entry. That's a nice little V-shaped recovery on a daily. So that could be a good sign that pop is coming. We gotta wait and see. If we could pop up to this 229, I would like that right there. I would take profit on Qs at 630. Especially on a short holiday week, if we tend to get a pop up there, I wouldn't mess with it. I would definitely take my profit. But I'm watching Qs. How y'all feel about Q calls, man? That's the only thing I'm looking to take short. ETF plays. Anything else got to be long out. Y'all ain't fun.
I like them if they hold 620.
Yeah, I like them too. You know what?
Start.
You know what player of mine is going crazy right now? My copper calls. Copper. FCX. But
Yeah,
we're gonna
copper up next.
yeah.
Gold to hit high, silver hit high.
Mm-hmm. That's
Oh,
gonna
Copper up next.
I'm just gonna give y'all a quick insight right now to the 2026 projections. Copper is definitely gonna be on that list. Copper is definitely on the list for next year projections. So I mean, for next year major stocks to look at copper. And another gem I'm gonna drop for y'all is the EVTOL, copper EVTOL. Those industries and those sectors, I think, are gonna have massive years next year as AI continues to build its data centers and get ready for the next boom. Let's look at SPY. SPY probably did something similar to Q's for us last week. I think SPY was a little bit stronger last week than Q's, but SPY did the same thing. You see, SPY dipped on Wednesday below put entry. It really could have entered puts on Tuesday and it gave first target, and then it came back up towards put entry, and then gave you both targets on Wednesday. Last week, Wednesday was ugly. That was an ugly day.
Yeah, it was.
675, 672 both hit. All right, so puts hit on Qs. So I mean, SPY, TQQs. We want to know both put levels hit as well. If they hit on the Qs, and TQQ, you could have caught those puts.
I think we'll top out somewhere today, and then if reverse tomorrow.
IWM pushing.
My baby XLF, man. XLF is doing this thing. XLF pretty much chopped all of last week. It gave you opportunity catcher that put entry at 54.50, but now it's back at 55. XLF is one of those ETFs long-term plays that I like. XLF is the finance sector ETF. Is the SPY S&P 500 financial sector. So it focuses on the banks and financial companies, which is I think is going to have a rapid expansion in 2025 with everything going digital and becoming tokenized. Keep an eye out for the financial sector. XLF, I like them to push up to around $60 by like February, March. And that's a nice push on the ETF to go up 10% in this matter of 2 months. That's a really nice push. But XLF didn't hit. You could have got first target last week at 55. If you caught it at 54.50, it gave you that bounce. It bounced in between that range a few times actually. So you definitely could have caught that. Never gave you put targets. Let's go to Planet Labs. Planet Labs. Where's G at, man? Mr. Planet Labs. Planet Labs at $20. Look at Planet Labs, man. Nice little pop this week after chopping all last week. Yeah, Planet Labs did the same thing. It chopped all last week. It didn't really give us put entry or call. It didn't give us put entry at 15.88. Call entry was at 16.80. It bounced off of that entry. Call entry on Wednesday. This was the time to grab Planet Labs when it came down to call entry on Wednesday, and it showed that bounce on Thursday. You should have grabbed it. And now look, $20. Fuck. What's up, Rome?
What you think about IWM puts since it's at 253?
Alright, hold on. Let me pull up the IWM. Let's see. I'm about to get into the levels for this week. IWM put entry last week was what? We had 252.74 was IWM put entry. I would say if it shows that it can't close at least a 2-hour candlestick above there, then yeah, it's probably gonna reject back down. But if it does, I will stick with the same. I'm gonna stick with the same levels from last week on the IWM. I'm gonna keep that call entry at 255.76. Put entry 252.75. Yeah, I wouldn't change that up too much. I'm gonna keep that exactly where it's at. I think we went over everybody except for Uber. Let's see. G wanted Uber on the list last week. Let's see what Uber did. Uber was getting smacked up, boy. Uber, yeah, Uber got hit with 10-piece combo over there. Let me see. Last week, Uber never got above call entry. It did trigger put entry on Wednesday and hit target, and then it came back down to put target on Friday. So Uber, we did get the first put target. and Dizzle.
Yeah, for that open, boy. They was pushing at 220, boy.
All
Not at
right.
214. Jeez.
All right. So let me see. Yeah. 16 companies charted last week, and we hit on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these companies that we charted last week hit targets for you on put side or call side. So, I'm gonna repeat it again, ladies and gentlemen. The price levels are not a joke. All right, set your levels, set your alerts, and follow along. You can't catch them all, but when we set these levels out for the week in the Culture Shock Discord, pick the number of companies you know you can keep up with comfortably and manage those amount of contracts. I would say if you're a beginner, pick one company. If you're intermediate with options and you're pretty experienced and you know things about like hedging against a position and you know how to short against your position if needed, then you could look at 3 companies. If you don't know how to hedge against your position, like if you're in a call, when's the right time to cut or buy a put or anything like that, if you struggle with those kind of strategies and things, then stick with one company and watch it like a hawk. Because believe it or not, a company may give you a range where you could hit the call target twice in a week and may even hit the put target as well. But you can only catch that if you're really watching the company and watching these levels and have your alerts set. Because sometimes you get a call that'll hit call entry, hit the first target, come back down to call entry, hit the first target, and you could play that 3 times in a week and make great money off that range playing out for you. So let's get it popping for this week. Let's go ahead. Let me get this off your screen.
My level hit on IWM and SPY.
IWISM, your levels hit.
Yeah, from this morning.
Oh, okay. But did you take the trade though? So if your levels are triggering, what are you doing when your levels trigger? What's your rule when your levels trigger? Do you got to?
Mike, y'all remember you was just rapping in my head about taking these 0 days, man?
Yeah, nah, definitely don't. You don't gotta take a 0 day for your levels to hit. I gotta be a 0 day.
That's how I'm gonna make that bread. The zero with with the level I do like for scalping.
So what you charting levels off of what? You try.
You install Tesla.
Well, you trying levels off of the opening candlestick only. Then you're not trying levels off of daily or weekly.
No, I do the 90 minute or of the like XPX. I do the 90 minute on the 330 candlestick, right? Then I look for my level on the 6 hour candle. I do that for IWM too. But IWM I
But
do
let me ask you this: how's that been working for you?
it been hitting every time, but you know what always happened to me? When it hit, it leave me behind. Then when it goes in the middle of the range, that's when I try to take a trade and I get chopped.
So you're not taking it when your entries trigger. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you know you gotta do. You gotta take when your entries trigger. But you don't have to make it a 0 day. You could test out that same theory. You could get a weekly contract room. You don't gotta make 80%, 100% every contract you do, bro. You could 20% is a great return, amazing return. Like if you get 10, 20%, that's amazing. So you could get that on a week out contract with the levels you have, probably, dog. Especially when you're doing a weekly on the IWM, I think you're underestimating the speed at which those contracts move. You get one if you get a contract that expires like 2 days on the IWM, and you have a price target. That price target hit today for you that you set. This one the move this morning from the IWM. If you took that and you had a contract, you'd be up over 15, 20% right now, bro. You don't need to get the 0 day. It's not necessary to get the 0 day. Do not look for max profit. No, he was talking about getting a call off his entry this morning. Off the orb entry, because he's doing the orb entry in the morning off the opening candlestick. So if you do that, he's talking about the 0 days, the only way he's going to make money. I'm like, nah, you could get a 2-day contract, 3-day contract on the IWM. And off this push right here, you'll be up more than 30%, bro. And you got to be happy with that. And you keep doing that on a daily basis, that 30% will compound so fast before you know it. If you keep staying disciplined with it, like I said, that was the first talk I said, consistency. That got to be the goal of the year, consistency. If you seen what you doing is not sustainable consistently, then you got to find another strategy. You got to find something that you can be consistent with. But everything else will be something that you could do every once in a while when you see the opportunity arise in the market. But you got to have your consistent strategy that, this is my bread and butter. This is what I do. All right, this is what I do. And if other opportunities come up, yeah, I'll test something out here for a swing or here for a long. But I do scouts. I do morning plays, and this is all I do. If that's what you're gonna do, then lock in and lock in on staying disciplined and consistent with those rules. Because there's so many ways to make money in the market, bro. You can do long, you can do short, you can do 1 minute chart, 10-minute chart, 30-minute. There's so many. But the problem is people start mixing up the strategies together and not being consistent and following one or setting one as their foundation, and then you start trying to do a long while doing short charting, and you getting all this kind of confusion in your brain because you're mixing up strategies. So whatever you find, just rock with it, and you find that it's working, rock with it. If you got the opening orb, if you're going off the orb strategy, then just stay consistent with it. When the level's trigger, take your price, take your entry. Don't hesitate. Because you can't afford to hesitate in that strategy. You got to go immediately. You can't wait for confirmation. You got to go. Because if not, it could hit your target and come back down. Then you're trying to get in. Then you get caught in that pullback. So that's the risk with that strategy, that you can't really wait for confirmation. It's like you got to go. Unless you're going down, maybe you find smaller time frames that work for confirmation for you on that strategy. But that's not a strategy I run. So I can't really tell you. I just know you got to go down to smaller time frames for confirmation. So if you go ahead, you doing it off the 15, maybe you got to look for your confirmation on the 2-minute chart or the 3-minute. You know what I'm saying? Because if you wait for the 5, it may be too long. It may be you already hit your target at that point. I don't know how close your targets are.
Damn, bro. Fucking Tesla puts with an 8 so good.
Nah, you never grabbed it? You waited?
No, bro. They put in a perfect shooting star, boy.
490. Oh, my God. Look at that thing.
Bro, that put up.
Boss, tell me you got out them calls. Please. Oh, Allah. Tell me you stole 2 like I said. No. Held all 3. Diamond-handed. Hey, listen, man. It could definitely bounce, but it's just, like I said, it's a holiday week, so you're going to get a lot of volatility this week. It's not that much volume. People are on vacation. People are traveling. So every little 10,000 buy, 10,000 sell is going to fluctuate the price up and down way more than it normally would, because there's not enough force opposing it on the opposite side. It's just not that much volume today. But,
but they said it was going to pump a couple bins in the market though this week.
I kept hearing that about the Feds, right? Let's look up that article. Let's see what that's about. Let's see if we can find anything that's really solidified that. That here shit.
Oh, they said. Tesla just want me to buy more, that's all.
Yeah, I'm thinking about jumping in with you, because I done missed the put, so I ain't about to grab it down here. It's the whole 47.50.
Yeah, that's right where I had the top. 488.30, right around there. If y'all get below there, don't touch no calls. You better, if you're not out, you better just wait. Don't buy no more. If it holds 488, 490 though, then I like buying it right here if it shows that it's gonna bounce. You gotta probably come down to like
489.
You gotta come down to the 15-minute. Oh yeah, that don't look good on the 15. Ooh, that don't look good on the 15 at all.
Boss.
God damn.
90 was $500, bro. Them shit's $900. Bro. Damn.
The 490 put.
I said, nah, he ain't gonna tap 500. That's too obvious.
It'd be the two obvious plays. It's too obvious to us. Let's make a copy.
Put off the watch list.
498.80 a touch, boy.
Let's get these levels in for the last week. For
it
12.
Still look good in the 4 hours.
I know. That's why I'm about to get in with you.
Strong, bro.
Play the range, man. Play the range.
Yeah, just play the range. I ain't gonna lie, boy. If you really told me about them puts, I probably would have been watching some puts. And still be in my cars.
Yeah, I just rolled it back up.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, he trying. Alright, let me see.
Damn, that would have been a nice put on Tesla. You're right, boy. That was lovely. But you know, I don't like rushing in trades Monday morning. I'm chilling. There's a lot of chop going on this morning.
Mm. And also, I ain't gonna lie, I should have bought another circle call, boy. Circle playing out for that February call.
Look at
It
SPX.
might be a 40%.
So you want to put them on a chart list this week to be charted?
Oh,
Circle. The
yeah,
price.
remember we were supposed to go long on circle. I said I got the head start already. I
Oh,
took the
okay.
February calls for 120.
Okay.
Up, we go to rejection for XPX.
Circle
On
got
a
it.
30.
Circle got it. Had a nice bounce on
You
it.
wasn't want to jump on no puts?
I'm thinking about it right here. That's the only thing I think about. Some short puts, man.
XPX, boy, 2 down on the 30, boy. Ooh.
I gotta set my level
That shit
first.
about to go.
They got a big gap to
They
fill.
gotta fill that gap.
SPY down to 681.
You know what I'm saying? About gap.
Let me do a SPY 680 put. I'm gonna do something real light though. You about to put a 2 down on the 32? 2 back-to-back 3 bars in the morning on the 30? That's wild. I'm definitely only getting one contract. That's wild.
That shit line, because IWM is pushing back up.
That's what I'm saying.
I peep IWM and XPX, they move like the same, man.
A lot of the ETFs move in alignment with each other. So anything that's like an ETF, they don't. A lot of them don't veer too far off each other, unless you got an ETF that's specialized following a particular sector. But even then, as ETFs go up, they're usually going to push ETFs that attach with them up too. That's why I say the safest way to play the market is ETFs before you start going, especially as a starting investor. When you start trading and you just starting to trade options and invest, start with the ETFs. You know, the ETFs that have the companies in them. Huh?
I hate trading options. I like trading shares.
Oh well, yeah. If you trade in the shares, then that's when you could start going with the companies because you don't have such a deadline on the contract. You could hold it as long as you need to. But with that, you want to make sure if you're going to do that, then you want to make sure you're getting into companies that are, you want to catch companies at their support levels when you're buying. If you're going to be buying shares, if you're going to buy volatile companies. SPY 2 down. Yeah, I jumped in that put. We in there.
I mean, some XPX puts too, boy.
I jumped in. I got one contract. They trying to kill my puts from last week. I'm trying to think about buying more. I gotta look at some of these companies first before I buy more, like Coinbase and TSM. See if they really gonna pull back. They killing my puts from last week. Coinbase and TSM.
Coinbase moving like a pussy. I thought you got
Coinbase pop.
Coinbase put, man.
Coinbase pop today.
Coinbase was supposed to be moving like Tesla, bro. It's because of Bitcoin, man.
Yeah, Bitcoin gonna hold it. You know, I gotta check out the Bitcoin chart and see how Bitcoin's been holding up. Let me look at Bitcoin real quick.
I was reading this article. They say next year Bitcoin should touch 146 bullish. If it's bearish, it's gonna be at 79K.
You said that still below 90,000 on Bitcoin. Sheesh.
I'm telling you, that shit's strong. That's a strong level there, boy.
Gotta break above that. Gotta get back above.
95.
Yeah, gotta get above 95, 96.
See, look, them Coinbase $500 calls, right? Those 1,200 on Friday, they 1,400 today.
Yeah, off that gap up. And that's a far out contract.
Hold on, bro. That's my OG.
Alright, let's get these levels set, man. Good morning, man. Culture Shock is in the building.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Yeah, I'm ready to chart too.
Let me know any companies y'all want to put on the list this week outside of the ETS so I could add it to the chart list. Circle, we was just talking about Circle.
That's gonna be my baby for next year.
We were just talking about them, boys. So let me clear out the list. Market. Y'all want to keep gold on the list this week? Let me take Signal off the list.
Sure, yeah, why not? If it ain't
Let's do
broke,
silver too. Silver is up, hit all-time highs.
yeah, all the commodities did. For the
Copper, my copper holdings up nice, boy. The copper moving nice over here. Those FCX calls, those $55 calls. Yes, sir. I can't wait till them shits to end the money. Alright, so we're gonna do Circle. We're gonna make sure we put Circle on here this week. Any other company? Let's see. You got Tesla levels hit. Tesla, we're gonna reset Tesla levels because Tesla's gonna play us a nice rejection.
Yeah, Tesla for sure.
That's my favorite, Mike. Coinbase, man.
Oh Lord. I got you, Ron. I got you.
Coinbase, we have something to settle, man.
Straight up, Coinbase will never die.
Coinbase gonna
Hey,
to that money.
Planet Labs took off, G.
What's up?
Planet Labs took off.
Yeah, where they at?
$20. Call entry on them last week was 1680. We could have caught that on Wednesday. Missed it.
Put my alerts on that shit.
Missed it. They jumped right up to 20. I'm like, fuck. All right. We're going to catch their ass though. So I got Coinbase. I put Circle. XLF levels, I'm going to keep the same. Planet Labs. We're going to redo. We could redo those levels this week. I think they're going to pop again.
I told y'all boys, man, look at IWM moving.
TQQ.
XPX don't want to fill in that gap.
IWM call entry. Did IWM hit call entry? No, IWM still ain't even at call entry. I'm gonna keep IWM levels exactly the same from last week. Exactly the same IWM call levels.
IWM, bring your ass back down, kid. I got into IWM puts, man.
You got in the put.
$5
What made you jump in puts, Ron?
Cause that shit gonna come right back down.
No, but I'm saying what made you jump in those puts? What sign did you see? What did you chart? What did you see on the chart?
Nah, I just did it for rejection.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but it $5, 10 contracts for $50 rejection. It's in and out.
I'm telling you, those small ones eat your ass up quick over time. You keep giving them small losses to them. With off of honestly, if you took it off like a level or something, if it don't work out, don't work out. But these plays when you just trying to hope for a pivot based off of nothing, that's not the way that.
It's for rejection.
Off of what level though?
I didn't get no of that.
That's what I'm saying. So when you say rejection, you gotta know rejection off of what? Because if you don't got a level, you could just push up into 258, and then that could be a rejection. But then what? So always always do stuff based off of levels. Even if you want to do rejection and play all that has to be played off of levels you charting out. That's why I say consistency. Be consistent this year. I don't want y'all taking no losses. When y'all take a loss, I feel like I'm taking a loss.
No losses.
Hold up, this dumb calling.
People like, yo man, why you care what I do with my account? You know, if I'm gambling, let me gamble. Nah, B, I can't.
Ain't no problem.
Nigga like to gamble, dog. Nigga like to hit the 4, 5, 6. You heard?
Six. Let me see. Alright, so we're gonna do XLF levels gonna stay the same. Q levels. The Q levels, I think. Let me check out the Qs. Q levels, can I keep the Q levels the same? Yeah, I can keep the Q levels the same. We right at call entry. 619.20 is call entry from last week. Oh yeah, we right there. Keeping the Q levels the same from last week. 624 would be the target off those call entry. 624.60 up down to 629. We get up to 629, I'll definitely take that profit. I do not trust the market up above 630 until I see some kind of catalyst to really push us above highs. Until then, I think that's just a rejection zone. Get your ass swatted.
If Tesla breaks back above 490 and base as a support, I'm looking at the $500 calls on Tesla for short call.
Meta levels. We're gonna keep meta levels the same. What y'all think? We should keep meta. I think I'm gonna keep meta levels. Meta almost came right back down to 660, ball.
Yeah,
yeah, 665, boy. Nice rejection. $8 rejection. I can't wait. Yeah, that's what I said, boy. Be careful this morning. It's nasty work. Nasty work. They coming right back. I'm gonna keep their levels exact. I think they're coming back to 660. I'm keeping their levels the same. I'm gonna keep them levels exactly the same. That's a weekly level. They coming right back to that. We may bounce off of it. We may catch. Now the second bounce off of it may be the legit one. If we get another bounce over there, that's the one to catch. Like
that was quick, boy.
Real quick. They didn't even give you until lunchtime before it pulled back. That's why I said this is a short week. I know how holiday weeks get. Low volume. People start taking money out for Christmas, holidays. You don't know what people start doing. Tax harvesting, tax loss harvesting, all kind of shit happening right now. So let me see. Nvidia levels, are we gonna keep those the same? Nvidia, we gotta set new levels. Nvidia up at 183. Ooh, Nvidia, nice little move up. Okay, so we'll reset levels on Nvidia. I'll clear that out.
I like calls on them if they hold 180 this week for sure. I don't want to see them back below 180.
Okay. Let me see. Where is Microsoft? Put Microsoft in here. Microsoft. We had 483 as call entry last week with 487 target. I think I still like those levels. I'm gonna keep those levels the same on Microsoft. Same levels we had.
I would. Yeah. Especially the way it reacted to 43.
Yep.
Earlier.
And rejected off that 487. It rejected right off of first target. Crazy. Right back down. That's why I love the levels, man. I be telling people, man, it's not me, it's the chart. So I ain't do nothing magical. I'm just reading what the charts say. I ain't coming up. I ain't coming up with these numbers saying, "Oh, this is my magical price." That's how. Nah, I don't listen. The chart say $20 drop coming, $20 drop could come. Listen, I ain't saying it. The chart said it. That's how I'm gonna start navigating my life with God, man. I be like, listen, man, it ain't me. God said it, man. I don't know where it came from, but God told me that this is how this about to play out, dog. Let me get my ass up out of here. I don't know what you see. I don't know what I see, but I know what this. I know what that said. I know what the Spirit told me. It said, "Move." All right. Apple. Let's look at Apple levels.
Yo, Mike.
What's up?
I have a question, right? You see how you guys seen Tesla going at 498, then you guys say y'all gonna play the rejection. What level would you guys play that rejection off?
That's the $500 level. That's a new all-time high, psychological level. So like when things are moving in increments of like $50 or $100. So when something gets up to like over $100 in price, now you know like, okay, all right, increments of like $50 are going to reach psychological level. So now the next psychological level at the company hits $100 will be like, all right, 150. Even though it never got up there before, you know automatically when it gets to 150, it's going to face some type of rejection. Just because people, that's what people look at in their mind. When they don't have a level, they start putting things in at certain numbers that are easy to track. So 500 will be the next easiest number to track as an all-time high if it's never been there, if it's never gotten over 490 or 480. Next stop is going to be 500. After 500, next stop will be what?
550.
Exactly. So that's, you know, that's next psychological level. Like, all right, if we get above 500, we're most likely going to face some kind of rejection up around 550. And that's how you play it until you get the actual levels in that range, and then you just play those levels. They call those psychological levels. because they know people's minds are going to start acting a certain way when they see that number. So it's a psychological like warfare being played, and people know like, okay, get up to 500. I know people are going to start feeling some kind of way about Tesla when they see that number. Got nothing to do with the company, nothing internal, nothing fundamental, just psychological. How people are going to feel.
And that nigga met with Saudi Arabia too. I think either today or yesterday.
They getting Arab money. He want that Arab money. Yeah, Saudi got crazy money. Did y'all see Dave Chappelle's new stand up?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia over there giving that bread out, man.
Just dropping millions on people's heads. That's what happens when you have ownership of a resource like oil and pretty much unlimited quality. Like the motherfuckers they could just pull money out the earth essentially. That's what they're doing.
Them niggas got stupid money, boy.
When y'all get a chance, watch that Dave Chappelle stand up, the new one on Netflix. He talks heavy about that Saudi Arabia.
Oh, you mentioned Diddy too.
Yeah, that stand up was hilarious. Dave Chappelle is a funny dude, bruh. He
What
is.
did he say about Diddy? Diddy asked him a question like, what he like to do?
He said, Diddy said, so what you into, Playboy? He said, when Diddy asked me that, he said, I'll say video games, going out, you know. He said, I said normal shit. He said, Diddy knew at that point. I wasn't ready for the freak off party. So what you into, Playboy?
He like, if he knew he had to fuck Cassie.
He said, right. He said, damn, that's what he was trying to get him to do. He said, bruh, man. Yo, watch that stand up when y'all get a chance. That dude, Dave Chappelle, is a comedy legend, bro.
I fucked up my invitation.
My invitation, right. I didn't know that was an invitation. Yeah, I was rolling. I was dying. I watched it last night. I watched it yesterday. That shit was hilarious. I forget, like last week, I think that stand up is hilarious. Dave Chappelle. I get Avgo off the list this week. Even though I do like Avgo, I want to keep an eye on them. I'm going to take them off the list. Not too many companies. Let me shrink this list down this week.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm going back watching this Chappelle show, man.
He said don't watch it on Netflix, though. They ain't paying him. Well, now maybe now they should be. I would think so now. Him doing the stand-ups. I think they probably worked that. I hope they worked that out. I have to research that. All right, let's go. Let's get it started with Apple levels. Let's see where we're sitting with Apple right now. You know, I got to zoom out to the weekly. The weekly says last week's put entry is this week's call entry. That's how it goes sometimes. That's what the chart says. 273.59 would be call entry. If we get below 270.78, that'll be put entry this week. I'm putting my alert on right now. Put your alerts in as we go through this. Make it easier so you don't have to go back and do it later. What the fuck? So we're going to put 271 for Apple, call at 273, pretty much above 273.80. I don't trust it.
Better come back down to 661, boss. That'd be your chance.
It's on the way. Let me put my alert on Meta too, because I want to catch that too when that happens.
No way, boy.
He said there ain't no way.
Ain't no way, bro.
You guys got him.
That nigga just up there. I gotta see this X-Men candle, bro. Hold on.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Yo, y'all letting Meta drop down to
Put Meta up on the 2 hour. You're gonna see it in golf. Let me see the hourly. Oh yeah, 2 hour and the hourly. You can see it playing out. It's still a 1 bar. It could end up not putting the 2 down, but it could bounce right near the bottom of that 3 bar, right around 661. It could start catching support. So we gotta be careful. I'm gonna shift my alert up a little bit. I'm gonna shift my alert up to 661.
On a 2 hour, which low you talking about? The lows on the 3 bar?
Yeah. Yeah, it may not touch all the way to. It may not put a 2 down in on the 2 hour. It may just stay at 1 bar, but it may get down to 661.90. Like you see the bottom of the body of that 3 bar, it may go down there.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
But if it puts a 2 down in on this 2 hour, don't touch them calls. Don't touch them. I promise you, you will get your ass spanked. Don't do it to yourself.
That shit will fall off the earth.
Yeah, next thing you know, you be like 648. how we get down here? You didn't watch the support level when you saw that 2 down coming. You should have seen it. Oh, we just put a 2 down on the 30 on Meta too. Yeah, I'm watching them. I got the call alert on them. So Meta levels, I'm keeping those the same this week. But let me get back to Apple really quick. Let me make sure I got those levels in on that chart. 273.60 entry, and we're gonna do 270.78 put entry. All right.
Come on, IW and keep though, man. Go down to 252 now.
Apple target, we'll put 275 as the first target on Apple calls, we'll follow that up with this call target up here. What was this high right there? 278.60. The fuck?
Yo, Mike, where the hoes at, huh?
This guy Rome, boy. You gotta lock in, Rome. Consistency, man. We locking in the charts, man.
Bro, the hose is on the other side of 1,000% play. Guaranteed.
Right now.
Close your laptop, they're gonna be right behind you.
He's right behind you. All right, you just gonna turn around. You like, oh, what? You don't even have to ask, boy. It would be a serendipitous magic trick to start happening. You just start appearing. Popping up as your account go up. You're going to start saying, hey.
That's gonna be the future for us, kid. Alright, remember we in the stimulation, but
Yeah, we are in this.
Around the place. Yeah.
you just gotta upgrade. You just gotta upgrade it, boy. That's it.
And don't play with me, them.
That's what make them just good, boy.
Alright, yeah, we're going to do 270 put entry. 267 target on the puts. 267.50. I'll put as the put target on Apple. 266.27 as the next put target. Stop out of those puts if we get above 272. Use a daily. That's a daily contract. Coinbase. Let's get Rome his Coinbase levels, man. He asked for it. I try to get the people what they asked for, man. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Joby, come back down for me, please, Joby. Wait. Chill out, Joby. Just chill out for a second. No need to get above $15 like that. $15 was an old put entry I had on this, so that means it's in the bounce. Where did I have that? Yeah, definitely in the bounce. Okay, yeah, definitely in the bounce on the weekly. We're going to go to my bounce screener after we done setting the levels. I want to go through my screeners with y'all. I don't know, were y'all able to open up the watch list that I shared in the Discord channel? When you click on it, it should open up inside Trading View and give you the entire watch list automatically. Inside the Culture Shock Trades and my trade channel, my personal trades, you go in there and scroll up a little bit, you'll see the strong growth list. You click on that, and that'll bring up that screener list for you. And I think, hopefully, as I edit that, it edits it for you automatically. But I'm not sure if that works like that. But I'm going to add in the bounce list into there as well, so you guys could see all the companies I see with strong potential to bounce. That bounce list has been popping since I made it, but I want to wait for that first rejection to catch those companies before they fully start recovering. Yeah, for sure. Oh, let's go ahead. Coinbase. Let's pull up Coinbase. Coinbase. So many levels. On Coinbase.
Get a nice rejection in there.
Let's
On
erase. Let's erase all these on Coinbase. You get a nice rejection on SPX.
Probably paying out on SPY too over there.
That's why I'm saying you made me have to look at my SPY call that I got.
And even they break it down yet.
You got a call or a put?
I got a put. Oh no, my put ain't really going nowhere yet.
Oh, okay.
Man, my put ain't. My SPY put ain't really going anywhere yet. Coinbase. So Coinbase, I want to look at Coinbase call till they get about 277. Coinbase is actually sitting right near a put level at 251. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's literally right at a put level. But if you want to wait instead of chopping the range, because it did chop in this range for the last couple of weeks. The real solid entry on puts, if it really starts closing below 240, yeah, that's puts for sure on Coinbase. 240.62. Call entry 277. That's a wide range. That's because this is such a volatile company and it has wild swings. So it literally consolidated in that price range from 270 to 240 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks now. That's what it's been ranging in between.
We could call putsito. Putsito. That one putsito right there.
If I didn't know you wrong here, I would think you Spanish.
Right. Rome might be half Dominican, man. He don't even know.
I'm fully so, man.
Your ancestors, kid.
Yeah, man. That's a small island, man. A lot of mixing was going on early days. Alright, so you got set your call alert on Coinbase and put alert. You ask for those levels, you better set that alert. Don't ask for no levels and not set the alert.
And you better take them too.
Right, ask the levels, don't set the alerts, and don't take the trade. I'm gonna be like, Ron, what you doing, dog?
I already took a $500 loss this month. I've been taking loss on top. At the top is just not wrong, Skeeto. The top don't want to see me right now, man.
They trying to shoot you down. They don't want to see you win, Rome.
Pow.
Let me see. We got 235. And then the next put target. Alright. At 226. So put targets on Coinbase 235. And then like 227 pretty much. 227. We'll rock with that. Alright. You can stop out those puts if we get above 250. You got to be able to have a stomach to sit in these Coinbase plays. And these got to be, honestly, I'm going to say these got to be weekly contracts. Something that's at least more than a month out. I ain't taking no Coinbase contracts on any short-term scale. Too volatile. 284 first, 284.75 first call target, followed by 290.68. Boom. You stop out that call. You pull our asses back below 270.
660.
260. What happened?
Letter 660.
Yeah. Right back to call entry. Let's go and watch it bounce. Because the levels don't lie. I'm taking this call, boy. Let me see a pivot on Meta on the 20-minute. Now I gotta watch the 20.
I'm looking at Tesla 500s and Meta 675s.
that shit, man. Fill that fucking gap, man. About to get 6840 real soon.
Okay. All right. I had to send that message real quick. Oh man, Meta. My dog Meta. That would have been a nice put the cash back down the car entry, but that's all good. So we gave out on the live session today. Let me go over a quick news article real quick for people on the live before I get up out of here. I can do that real quick. Let's go over a couple news articles. Let's see what the news is talking about. They keep pushing this Larry Ellison. How do y'all feel about them trying to push Larry Ellison to really be part of this Warner Bros. Discovery deal? I think there's something going on here. So I feel really funny about their deal. Like they really don't want Netflix to win that deal. You think Netflix represents the people in this deal and Paramount represents them? That's how I'm feeling. That's the vibe I'm getting. I think they're all them, but you know, I feel.
I think they're all them. I think Netflix is really them as of recent though. Netflix is a fear mongering platform. If you go watch out any, if you go look at any Netflix produced shit, it's very fear mongering. And then you already know who the founder of Netflix. You already know who his uncle was.
See, I don't know. See, I don't watch Netflix too heavy, so see. So you think Paramount? So how you feel about Paramount? You trust Larry Ellison more than Netflix? Because like you said, they all them. But
I don't trust none of the ass. But Larry Ellison and Paramount, they want to keep movie theaters and theaters alive.
oh, okay. They want to keep theaters alive. Okay, so they trying to save Hollywood essentially. You think?
Right, and Paramount is promising to put out at least 30 new movies in theaters per year. Like that's what, and I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be mad at that because Netflix. I don't know who you think will tell the black stories. Whoever gonna tell the black stories, that's who I want to win.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you look at it, I don't think Paramount would tell the black stories because they haven't told it in the last 40, 50 years.
That's what I'm saying. I think Netflix is more likely because Netflix is more likely to tell a wider range of stories. I feel like than Paramount because Paramount is going to direct a certain narrative because they are in theaters and they know theater stuff. They could control that narrative more. Like Netflix is more like independent creators and people that could just get a Netflix deal. You see people get Netflix deals and all these random shows popping up on Netflix that could end up becoming big. Like what was that show with the Asian show?
It's a nigga from North Miami that sold content to Netflix.
Yeah, see, that's what made me think they was for the people, like because they doing stuff like that. But like you said, they do have a lot of fear mongering. Like anything Netflix produced is not something good to watch. It always has some kind of fear mongering in it. Yeah, man. That's the thing.
Check out can you chart Airbnb as well?
Airbnb, I got you. Let me see. Let's pull up Airbnb.
They bound to make some good money, have some good earnings.
I had some levels on them. Airbnb bounced from the levels we had. Boy, we had levels hard entry on them at 127. They way up. 129 was first target, 130 was second target. They surpassed all that shit.
Bro, you know how much people's gonna join the Airbnb platform even though they never rented out something? Because like, how you gonna have all these people in your country? People gonna rent out rooms next year, bro.
Rooms for $1,000.
Huh? Right, because there's gonna be so much people in the country there.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah. Okay, so Airbnb is one of my favorite long-term holdings. This is something I think you should own shares in. Trust me, nothing is financial advice on this live channel, all educational. But Airbnb, that's my dog. Alright, I think they're gonna be over $200 by the end of next year. They're at 138 now. Their high was up around 163. I can see them retesting that high. If you look at them on the weekly, they put in what they call a triangle pattern. From what I see them drawing on them on the weekly, where the hell's the target on this shit? Oh man, this is not good targets. These are bearish targets on this on the weekly. Saying $82 and then $11. I don't think they're on $11. That's crazy. The market will be crashing if that's going on.
Market is burning down.
All right, so I don't really got any bullish patterns playing out on it, but I do like them long term as a whole, just based on their fundamentals and the company they are. I'm gonna have to dig into their fundamentals some more again, see what their numbers are looking like. We could do that. But Airbnb 138.11 for a call entry, could ride that up to 140, and then 141. I mean 143.19, and then you got a little selling block that comes in around 144.70 on the weekly. So 144.70 from here, from 138, that'll probably be the range I look to play and take profit around 145, 144. See what happens, and if we break out above, if it's able to get above that little selling block and start closing candlesticks above 147, then I will re-enter calls for that next leg up to 160s, because it has a crazy pullback from 160 back in February of this year, and they never recovered from that pullback. Honestly, they never recovered back to February levels. So honestly, Airbnb is probably neutral on the year. If you look at them on the year, I don't think they went anywhere on the year. From January, let me see where they were in January. January 6th, they were trading around 137. Yeah, January 6th, 137. Today, 136.90. So if you own them in January, same exact price, bro. They ain't going nowhere the whole year. That's what you call no movement. Okay. But their pop out time is coming. Their pop out time could be, that's what you call a whole year of consolidation. And that can be that's a long time of consolidating. And that could lead to one hell of a breakout. That's what I'm saying. One hell of a breakout. Like a massive breakout. Where it's like, oh my God, it's $300 now. How did that end up happening? Nah, because it didn't go nowhere for a year. Like, you don't remember that. People don't remember those moments in the market.
So that's mean we're going to look out for some long out Ubers?
Yeah. Wall Street is uniformly bullish on 2026. Oh, God. I don't like when everybody's bullish.
Everybody bullish.
Sell side strategists. They have year-end targets on the S&P 500 or the SPX with the highest forecast from Oppenheimer at 8,100 and the lowest from Stifel at 7,000 for SPX. Those are the forecasts. And we're
in 2026?
Yeah. And SPX right now is sitting at 6,800. 7,000 is not that crazy of a gain. If you really look at up to 7,000, if they thinking about 7,000, that's not that much. Up to 7,000, they saying we only gonna gain probably 2% next year. And that wouldn't be that wouldn't surprise me after the years we just had, and the fact that AI is not really ready to deploy fully yet because the data centers, unless they figure out some cheaper way to deploy AI. Because when I was just talking it's crazy, I had a conversation this weekend, and I was talking with my boss, and she was like, yeah, I remember when phone companies was using copper a lot, and then they ended up going fiber optic, and the price of copper was going up a lot back then, and then they figured out how to create all these lines and use fiber optic instead of copper, because copper costs more and it's harder to maintain over time. So, but she's saying fiber optics came out and made everything cheaper. So I'm thinking like they're gonna come out with something fiber optics level for AI to transport and move energy. But right now, the only thing they know how to use right now is copper, and they're using copper right now because it's the base thing that they know works. Until they discover that next thing that works that's costs way less than copper and can be used on a broad scale.
Okay.
So how long does that take before that device or that medium comes out? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, we know it's coming.
Yeah, we know it's coming because we know they're not going to keep the cost of production up that high. They're going to find a way to cut down the cost of production because that's the only reason. That's the only way they're going to be able to increase their margins at a certain point. And that's what capitalism does. It's going to find a way to cut those margins down. And once they do that, we got to see what the new method they're going to go about for storing and transporting AI energy or maintaining these data centers. See what it's going to be. And that's what we're going to have to invest in next. But for right now, it's copper. Get your copper.
Boy, we probably got to see what China's doing.
Right, look at the right. See what, yeah. And you can see what's to come.
We're gonna be up next. Yeah. Or other countries.
Who got to connect?
Who got the copper? Who got the copper plug, man? We need the copper plug. All right, let me see.
It's expensive right now, boy.
Too expensive.
NVIDIA will start shipping H200 chips to China in February. Gold and silver hits record as U.S. ramps up Venezuela blockade. How y'all feeling about Venezuela? Y'all think we going to war? I don't think Venezuela could really pose war with us.
Going to war.
You know, I don't think it's really. I think it would be more like bullying. I don't think they're gonna have unless they get allies that help them. Like if other superpowers come in to help them, then that's gonna create a fucking problem. But I heard Russia and China's already out there, aren't they? In Venezuela.
Yeah.
Yo.
Be nasty. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
What it do? Just got, doing my first 15 out the box.
You're a free man. They gave you the moment to breathe. Come up for air.
A little moment to do that shit. You hear me? So I just see what the game doing.
Boy, trying to see what the play like.
Yeah, you hear me? Just trying to have a little Christmas gift to myself.
True.
All right.
What's the word? Which
on the live right now, man. We're just going through some news, trying to see what was going on in the market. Just finished the charting. Well, I did the base charting for the live. Gave them the levels on some ETFs and some of the major companies for free. And then we're going to dive into the deep charting and analysis once I get off the live here. I'm about to hop off here in a second. I was just looking to see if there was some interesting news coming out.
Let's look back at 490.
Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire shares his 10-year vision. We want to be foundational to the internet. Oh, shit. Circle talking their shit.
Oh, shit.
Let me post that up.
All right.
Let me post that in the Discord, man.
I should average down.
Dollar money.
Put circle.
Tesla coming back, y'all boys.
Tesla popping back up?
I'm in there.
Oh, y'all played the support bounce?
My contract triggered already.
Nice. Oh, yeah, they came all the way down to 486. Sheesh, yeah, when they got back above 48, that was the sign right there. Let me look at them on the 20-minute. The 20 still looking a little funny. In the 30.
In the 20 you trust, huh?
Nah, in the 30 I trust. And the 20 ain't funny. So if the 20 looking funny, you gotta be careful, boy. I need some confirmation on the 20 before I feel real comfortable. Y'all boys better be careful. See what happens when it gets around 491, like 491, 492.80. If y'all can't get above 492.80, I'll get out. That's gonna be another rejection coming in. This is just a lower high. Don't expect a full recovery back all the way up to 500 if it can't get above that 492.80. It's a nice little selling block waiting right there on the 20. And in the 30-minute, for that, you would need 494.50. That'll be a 3-bar on the 30. So 492.80, 494.50. Those two key levels y'all gotta look for in this bounce. Bounce. Yeah.
Right, I think the Q's going back to
496.
496. You gonna get out? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
If it stretch out to 496, I'm getting that.
Alright, Brian, the Qs are right at call entry level right now, 619.20. So keep an eye and see how they hold.
That's what I was just asking.
Yeah, it looks like they dip below it, but they bouncing back up to it. If they hold that, if we put in the same thing with the Qs, watch the Qs on the 30-minute, or if you really want to take it down to the 20, because I don't trust the 15, so I'm going to the 20. If we get above 619.80 again, I like Q calls down here. I gotta stop out my SPY puts if the SPY starts recovering the way it is. I have to get that SPY put. If SPY gets above 680, 450, I gotta close them, put out. Even though that's why I only got one contract, bro. I don't know, I don't trust it. It's gonna be a choppy week because we got a holiday week, so we gotta be careful out there in these streets.
Right. That's kind of why I'm kind of second guessing myself on pulling the trigger.
Right, because it's a short week. You know, you don't gotta trade every week. You can wait until the vision is more clear, until you're more comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm on a Tesla calls in for 30%. I'm out.
You out 30%. Hey, I like it. 30%, 30 for 30. I love it. I love a good 30 for 30, man. I love hearing a good 30 for 30 come through.
I'm gonna say yeah.
What's up, boss? I ain't hear you getting out yet, man. What's up? Where you at, man?
You know what I'm doing? I'm holding
Diamond hand.
hold the fort.
Oh, man. All right, let me get off the live. All right, everybody that came through the live session, appreciate you. We are live now on YouTube and Twitch because TikTok is being a sucker and keeps banning me. But make sure you jump in the live streams with us. I'm going to do charting sessions every Monday mornings. We're going to get the charting and give you levels to prepare for the week. Sundays, coming into the new year, I'm going to start the classes back up on Sunday. We got deep into the basics of investing and started with the option trading basics. So go check those classes out on YouTube if you need help with understanding what we're talking about on here, period. Okay, everybody that came through today, appreciate it. Set the levels, subscribe to the Discord, and visit CULTURESHOCKINVESTMENTS.com for all the links and updates on the company or to book your one-on-one consultation, okay? Because I am here to help the community. Thank you all. This is the last charting session of 2025. We're going into 2026, and we're going to be killing it again. It's going to be another beautiful year. Keep an eye out for the annual projections I put out the end of this year for 2026. I'm gonna give you guys all the gems to look for going into next year. All right, peace.